welcome to all my dear students on the platform of Deeksha Vedantu. This is your SST faculty Tanvi Ma'am, and today we are back with very important series. In the series we are dealing with 20 most repeated PYQs, and interesting thing is all these are with the solution. So once you have joined the live session, just let me know in the comment section, live chat option, that I'm audible, visible, and everything is clear, so that we can proceed with the session without taking any pause. So my dear students of class 10th, I have been noticing that now your pre-boards are going on, and most of your students, either the pre-board will be conducted or it's over, or they are going on. So basically you guys are free in the morning time, right? So I thought that this afternoon time slot will be perfect to keep you engaging, so that you don't sleep in this afternoon time in this winter season when we often feel sleepy in this time. So welcome to all my students. Just let me know, give me a thumbs up. Hello to Harshit here. Very warm welcome, Harshit. And the session is about 20 most repeated PYQs. Okay, now previous year questions that are being most repeated, like if we talk about SST, social study is a subject in which nothing new can be brought up. However, 80% of the paper is from NCERT. Rather, I will say that 100% of the paper is from NCERT, but the questions are portrayed in a way that they are more at a competency level, or they are more structured newly here. So this is all about, right? So we are going to figure out that today. Hi, hello to all those students who have joined. I can see that you guys are here. I'm starting the series with a warm-up question, and I want all of you to answer here. Right? And the question is, who remarked when France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold? The question is, who remarked that when France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold? So basically, this statement is from the chapter Nationalism in Europe. Okay, it is from the chapter Nationalism in Europe. Meanwhile, I am explaining everything. You need to answer me in the live chat option that this statement was given by whom, right? And why? Okay, talking about this, who remarked that when France sneezes? So we know that the starting of the chapter and the history of the chapter is such that in class 9th you studied that in the year 1789 it was starting of French Revolution basically. So this was starting of French Revolution basically, and every time in Europe, okay, every time in Europe when the nationalism, okay, or the feeling of nationalism was growing, then it was the France who was leading the queue. All the time France was leading the queue, right? France basically was a country who started the revolution every time. This statement was given by, okay, I can see that none of you have answered the statement. I will share that with you what is the correct answer. So basically this statement was given by Duke Metternich. So this was just a warm-up questions, because many more is going to come in the live chat session today. Okay, so this statement was given by Duke Metternich, right? And do you know that who is Duke Metternich? So Duke Metternich was an Austrian chancellor. Okay, Austrian chancellor. Now what happened now in the year 1830 particularly? In the year 1830 particularly, the people of France started a revolution. What did they did? They started a revolution in the year 1830, and finally, pay attention, finally now the France became constitutional monarchy under Louis Philippe as its head. Constitutional monarchy. Following it, many other countries also started the revolution, like Greece. Okay, or we can talk about Belgium and many more in the list. So as France started the revolution, the others started too. And that is the reason we call it that France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. Whenever the France country start a revolution, it is also effect on other countries too. Okay, Kalyan, you are very much correct. It's Duke Metternich over here. Now, the warm-up question is basically ended here. It's high time we are going to level up ourselves. Most repeated question, that 20 in number, mixed up from all the sections of history, geography, civics and economics. All of you, just give me a thumbs up if everything is clear to you and you are able to just participate in the live session today. Okay, so moving further with the second question, and this is one of the most repeated which I have seen in the previous year questions, that idea of national unity. Okay, pay attention. The idea of national unity in the early 19th century Europe were closely allied to the idea of liberalism. What did it mean for the middle class in France? Explain. You can see that it came in the year 2024, 23, then 20 and then 19. So if this question is repeated so many times, then why should we leave this question and leave such a marks in our exams? Okay, so the question is in front of you. Think about it, frame it, try to answer it, that what does the meaning of word liberalism here, right? And okay, moving further, but let me know that liberalism comes from a dash word. It is a Greek language word, Latin language word, English word, or what it is. Just let me know in the live chat option. Then I'll explain the whole question in a very detailed manner. So basically this question is asked so repetitively. Again, this one is from nationalism in Europe. This one is from nationalism in Europe. This question can be asked in two formats. Either it can come as a 3-marker question or it can come as a 5-marker question. So you need to be prepared for both of them, because yes, it can be a 3-marker and it can be a 5-marker. So it's about educated. Kalyan is saying that it's about educated middle class. Exactly correct. If we talk about liberalism, if we talk about freedom, so it was started by educated middle class, but how to structure, how to well prepare this answer, let us talk about it. Okay, so basically this word liberalism, pay attention, this word liberalism that rose in okay, that rose in 19th century Europe, is basically a Latin word. Okay, it basically comes from a Latin word liber, and the meaning of this word liber is freedom. So this can be first intro line of your answer. You can introduce your answer with this line. Is it clear? Now let us give a framework to this question. So basically here in 19th century Europe, liberalism or freedom is asked in 3 spheres. First is social liberalism or social freedom. Then we can talk about political freedom, and the third one, that is economic freedom. If you will just make your answer in such a format, then you are able to score good marks in your exams. Pay attention to all my students here. Now if we are talking about liberalism, we will see that there are 3 spheres of liberalism. That means the people of Europe demanded for freedom in 3 perspectives. Social perspective, right? Now in society, what do we want, right? What were the people struggling for? They were not having any freedom. So they demanded for freedom of individual. So what do they want? Freedom of individual. And the next one is equality before law. Pay attention, these are the points of your answers. So equality before law. The society wanted freedom of individuals and equality before law. If we talk about political freedom, now what do they want in political freedom? Basically Europe is fighting against the what? Autocratic monarchy. They are fighting against the autocratic monarchy, and they want end of what the end of which thing? Clerical privileges. Clerical privilege. Do you guys remember that there was a group in Europe, particularly in France, which are known as clergy people? And who were those clergy people? That clergy people, the high class people who enjoy all the rights over there, right? Study class, welcome to the session. Hi Sumita. Hi Rohit. We are back with the new timing and the new series here. So pay attention, talking about end of autocratic monarchies, end of clerical, then what do they want? So they want a representative. So they want what, bacha? They want a representative government. Okay, they want a representative government that is elected by the people, and we can have a representative people and form a parliament. So basically they want democracy. Okay, they want government by consent. Pay attention, you can add one more point. They want government by consent. Just let me know, is the red pen visible to all my students, or do I need to change the pen to yellow? Which is more visible to you, we will move with that. Okay, so third one, social ho gaya, political, then let us move to economic one. Do you know what is economic freedom, right? We don't know, ma'am. So if we talk about economic freedom, okay, if we talk about economic freedom, basically they want freedom of market. They want freedom of market. And what happens now when good was traveled from one country to another? When goods were traveled from one country to another, there were several times that people were affected because the state imposed so much censorship, so much restrictions, sorry, not censorship, so much restrictions on them. So because of that restriction, they asked for end of state imposed restrictions, like to reduce the tax, etc., etc. Okay, to all those who are coming here to spam in my lecture, you have no entry, no validation, no respect in my lecture. You can go somewhere else and do whatever you want. So pay attention, don't be here. Now, it is about end of state imposed restriction. This is the answer to the question. Kalyan Singh, okay, ma'am, can you repeat? So basically, here is a question that is most repeated about liberalism in the 19th century era. Okay, you can frame the answer likewise. You can divide it into social, political, as well as economic freedom. Hope this one is clear to you. Give me a thumbs up so that we can move to the next one. Fine, fast, give me a thumbs up. Is this question clear to all my students out here? Who all are here? Just let me know. Okay, fine. Moving to the next question in the list, and the next question is very easy, very interesting. Why did Gandhiji decided to withdraw? Okay, why did Gandhiji decided to withdraw the non-cooperation movement in February 1922? Explain. Easy one. You can just let me know the incident, the name of the incident in the live chat option. Then I'll explain everything to you in detail. Hi, Kalyan Singh. Okay, do you want me to repeat that question? Fine. I'll repeat it. Just give this answer to this question. Then we'll move and repeat that one. Okay, no issues. Give the answer to this one here. Why did Gandhiji decide to withdraw? Which incident? The question from my side to all of you is that which incident led Gandhiji to withdraw the non-cooperation movement? What happened over there? So basically talking about non-cooperation movement. Okay, non-cooperation movement was considered as one among the what we can say first successful all India satyagraha started by Gandhiji, and this was started on three issues. The first issue was that we need to do something like we need to take the revenge for Rowlatt Satyagraha, which became a failure. Then we need revenge for Jallianwala Bagh massacre, what they have done wrong, need to correct that. And one more demand was presented by Gandhiji, that was demand of Swaraj. If this question comes for 2 marks, you need to write just in short directly that. Okay, you need to write directly that Gandhiji withdraw the non-cooperation movement because of the increase in violence. Because of the increase in what, my dear bachas? Because of the increase in violence in the countryside. What happened in the countryside? In some areas, violence increased. Now at a place, you are guys are not giving the answer to that incident because you don't know, and I can understand that. So the incident was Chauri Chaura. Okay, so the incident was Chauri Chora, which happened in Gorakhpur, UP. Okay, happened in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh in the year. Which year? The year is given in question, 1922. Incident happened in Chauri Chora, 1922. What happens? Many Indian peoples were peacefully protesting against the British government. Now, what happened? British government did lathi charge and some violence to that peaceful protestants. But here was the time when peaceful protestants didn't stay quiet and set a fire on a police station. And do you know, guys, 22 British policemen were killed at that day because of that fire, and that is the reason, because of increasing violence, Gandhiji thought that this is not the correct time to start the movement or continue the movement, as we are not prepared with the masses. Violence is going on, it can lead to multiple murders, killings, etc., and we need to withdraw the non-cooperation movement. So frame the answer with the keywords accurately so that examiner will not take any of your marks. So hope you guys are enjoying this. We are moving to the next question, and the question is the Silk Route. By this is the favorite question of CBSE, because this is from the chapter Making of Global World. Pay attention. This is from the chapter Making of Global World, and very interesting fact is this, this is the shortest chapter of history. And you might be thinking, ma'am, history is equals to short. Yes, sometimes by the grace of CBSE, because during the COVID time the syllabus was deducted, and from this chapter only 3 topics are coming. That's 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. And from that, the favorite question of CBSE is right in front of you. See, you can see how it is repeated 2024, 2020, 2016, etc. Okay, so the Silk Route are good example of vibrant pre-modern trade and culture links between distant part of the world. Explain how. So yeah, you need to answer this question very nicely. Radhe Radhe to Amit, very warm welcome on Deeksha Vedantu, and we are today dealing with the 20 most repeated questions in your exams. This one is from the chapter Making of Modern World, Global World. So talking about this, again, let me tell you that this can be asked as a 2 marker, 3 marker, not 5 marker, because this chapter don't has that much of weightage. So let's assume that it's a 3 marker and we need to figure out the points. We will start with the intro that already is written in the question, that yes, Silk Route is the good example of vibrant pre-modern trade and cultural links between the distant part of the world. Do you guys know that what happened now? Pay attention that this silk cargoes, okay, this silk cargoes were taken from China and these were moved to Europe. So basically, what is Silk Route? What is Silk Route? So Silk Route is basically several routes, so many routes, okay, and these routes are linking. These routes are linking what, my dear students? So it is linking Asia. Other than that, we have Europe and some northern parts of Africa. But now the question has 2 accurate and point-to-point thing that we need to write in the answer. The first one is about trade and the other is about culture. You need to tell them how this route is helpful for trade and how this route is helpful for culture. So do you know anything, right? What do you think? Do you think that only silk was traveled via this route? Okay, and if you know what are the other items that were transported via the same route, be engaging in the live chat option. What are you guys doing? Are you feeling asleep because it's afternoon 1 p.m. cold outside and you have blanket and you want to sleep, but suddenly live session of Tanvi Ma'am comes here and you are like, okay, let's not sleep today and watch this. So my students, I want you guys to share this with all of your friends so that we can be participative over here. So coming back to the question, yes, there were several items of import and export, and do you know what were they? Basically, other than silk, we have Chinese pottery. Have you ever seen the Chinese pottery? They were very fine designed. So we have a Chinese pottery, even we have spices that were traveled from India and South Asia to Europe. Other than that, we have cotton, variety of textile materials also. But the main and important thing is that along with the trade, see, along with the trade, there were cultural links also. So let's talk about cultural links. So we know that Buddhism originated from Indian subcontinent. Do you know this? Buddhism originated from Indian subcontinent, but the rest of world got the knowledge of Buddhism. How? Because it traveled from the same route to distant part of the world. How India know about Islam? Because of this. How India was introduced with Christianity? Because via this same routes, not only people moved their culture, their tradition, their religion, also moved and got what? Inhabited in that territory. Get it? Give me a thumbs up that yes ma'am, we got the answer. We will write in exam in the same format as you told us. And moving to the next question, that is, now see how examiner is going to make you into trap by just making the question in different format. So let's read the first one. First is, how far is it right to say that the print culture was responsible for the French Revolution? Okay, how far it is correct to say that? Asked in the year 2014. Or the question, same question can be asked in a different format, that many historians argue that the conditions within the French Revolution occurred were created by the print culture. Support the statement with the suitable arguments. Okay. Now third one, examine the three effects of print culture on the French Revolution. Now guys, it's very difficult to frame this answer all the time. I'm reading this print culture. Now the chapter feels me like what is this? This is so boring chapter. Do you feel the same? Just let me know in the live chat option. So students, this question is from print culture in the modern world. Okay, from the chapter print culture. What are they asking you particularly? Pay attention, what are they asking you? They are asking you that with the introduction of, okay, with the introduction of print, how it affected or had an impact on French Revolution. Now the question is clear, crystal clear to you, I hope that. What is the effect of print on French Revolution? So what happened now? Print culture created certain conditions due to which French Revolution happened. Right guys, do you remember in class 9 we have studied the role of philosophers? Okay, and those philosophers presented their view where in the writings, in the magazines, in the newspapers, and it infuriated the other people to mock the what we can say, mock the monarchy over there. So yes, it has an impact. Like if we talk about the first point you need to write, basically because of print, it popularized what? Popularized the ideas of, it popularized the ideas of enlightened thinkers. Okay, enlightened thinkers. So basically what happened now? Up till now there was no print, so people were not aware about it. People just was mucked up with the view that we are clergy. Okay, we are the rich people, we are the noble peoples, and all the rights will be enjoyed by us. Then eventually certain philosophies emerged that there is something concept like democracy, there is something like equality, and many more such things, and all got printed, popularized, right? And all the thinkings of enlightened thinkers, like example Voltaire, okay, or it is Rousseau, basically. I was pronouncing wrong to get your attention. So it was Rousseau, Voltaire, etc. Okay, so all these thinkers' ideology was spreaded with the help of magazine, newspapers, and it made people understand that now it is the high time we should raise our voices. Getting the point or not? The impact is not ended here. Because of this, what happened? Basically, because of this, a new culture emerged. Okay, a new culture emerged, and this was the culture of debate and discussion. Debate and discussion. Now, what happened now? if you don't know anything about one topic, like it may happen in your class, right? Students are discussing something and you don't know about that topic. Now what you will do? You will choose to stay quiet. Is something like this happened with you, my dear students? Yes, that's very obvious. But if you have knowledge about that, then you will start speaking, debating with your friends that, oh, this is not true, this is true. Often it happens because we need to win that race of debate and discussion. Similarly, what happened now? When different people in Europe started reading, knew the ideas, then whenever they gathered, like in cafe shops, in saloons or wherever, they started debating and discussion. So new culture created, because of which it facilitated the French Revolution, and because of this there was outpouring of literature. Okay, it was outpouring of literature, so much literature available in the market. Because of this outpouring of literature, we have seen that the people started mocking the mocking the morality and mocking the morality and criticizing, okay, and criticizing the people who were at the head, basically monarchy. And this is how, when people started criticizing monarchy, French Revolution happened, because everyone was seeing that what Louis XVI and his wife is doing. Get it clear? Give me a thumbs up. So students, we are done with the next question, that was impact of French Revolution. Moving to the fifth one, last one from history, then we will move to different section, that's geography, civics, or maybe economics. And the question is, how did culture play an important role in creating the idea of nation? Explain the context of European Romanticism of the 19th century. Asked in 2020, 2019, many more times, and I'm pretty sure that you will get your question many times in your upcoming pre-boards, as this session is particularly designed that we are going to be helpful for your pre-boards. Okay, so starting the explanation to the question, how did culture play an important role in creating the idea of nation? Students, pay attention how culture played an important role. No, we know that what is Romanticism. So basically, Romanticism is a cultural concept, okay? It is a cultural concept in which the people are talking about, not talking about science and reason. They're not talking about science and reason. Rather, they are talking about emotions, mystic feelings, etc. Now, how you can answer this question in 3 mark as well as in 5 mark, pay attention. Students, it is a cultural movement where glorification of science and literature was not there. Rather, there was glorification of emotions, intuitions, and mystic feelings. Okay, this was done there. Now pay attention that what happened, this can be an introduction to the answer. Now you will facilitate your answer with the help of example. Basically, what happened, romantic artists took the help of folklores, folk stories, folk songs, okay, and many more things like flags and etc. Symbols, okay, to glorify what? Their nationalism. One among the example is about German philosopher whose name was Johann Gottfried Herder. Okay, name was Johann Gottfried Herder, and he did what? He basically popularized the idea of common culture can be promoted with the help of common people. Das Volk. Second, we can give the example of Poland. And in this Poland, people took the help of vernacular language to promote nationalism. Okay, give the example of Karol Kurpinski. Give the example of Karol Kurpinski for this purpose. And third example can be given from Greece region. Okay, how Greece become independent in the year 1832, but it took the basis as culture because it is considered as cradle of what? Cradle of European civilization. Okay, European civilization. So, will you be able to answer this question? Question is, how culture played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments among the people of Europe. And this you need to answer on the basis of Romanticism, okay? The theory of Romanticism in 19th century. So moving to next question, students, and this is again a warm-up question to you, because I have seen that after studying SST for particularly some time, you guys get bored. So to make the session engaging, let us have one warm-up question. Choose the correct match. List 1, list 2. You need to solve this to me, because I'm not going to do this, because what happened now, you guys get everything feeded, then you forget everything. Okay, so try to answer this question. Anyone in the comment session who can tell me that Gandhi Sagar Dam matches with what, Hirakund matches with what, Nagarjun Sagar and Salal Dam. Basically, these are the important dams from geography. Important dams from geography, and the rivers associated with them, on what dam they are made. Okay, meanwhile you are answering this, I have one more question to you. Tell me which is the highest dam in India. Okay, tell me which is the highest dam in India, and the second is also tell me which one is the longest dam in India, because in the map work sometimes they directly ask you this, that mark the highest dam in India, and now you're clueless. You're clueless because you never studied from your Tanvi Ma'am, right? So answer this in the live chat option. Up till then, I'm moving to the next question, because I don't want to waste your time. That too in a period when your pre-boards are going on. Okay, which commercial crops are grown in laterite soil? Asked in the year 2020. Many times asked in the format of MCQs. Okay, or 2-marker question. The question is, which commercial crops, and pay attention while answering that the crop should be commercial crop. It should be a commercial crop grown in the laterite soil. So students, we know that the major soils in India, how many major soils in India? So there are 6 major soils in India. Okay, the first one is alluvial soil. Okay, the second is black soil. The third is red and yellow soil. Fine. Then we have which one? Alluvial, black, red and yellow. I forget the list. I don't know how. Something happened to my mind. So we have alluvial soil, black soil, red and yellow soil. We have then laterite soil. Okay. Then we have mountainous soil. And we have one more soil, that's sandy soil, okay, or rocky soil also we can call it. So which type of crop, okay, which type of commercial crops are grown in laterite soil? So basically in laterite soil we grow either tea, or it is coffee, or it is cashew nut. I was waiting for your answers, guys, but I think you guys are feeling so bored, or what? Yes Rajesh, it is CBSE English medium. The classes are also in English, and today we are doing top 20 most repeated questions from SST, and this one is 6th question in the line. Okay, so 3 crops that are grown are tea, coffee and cashew nut. However, the laterite soil is not good. After having certain techniques to prevent them from what? Degrading, from the top soil to flow away. Okay, so after that only the tea, coffee and cashew nuts are grown. Next question, 7th question. Planning is widely accepted strategy for judicious use of resources in a country like India. Justify the statement with 2 relevant points. So basically they are asking you 2 relevant points. It is very much clear that it is a 2-marker question, but in your NCERT 3 points are given, and we will write all of them because we don't want our examiner to cut our mark. Okay, so yes, planning is a very accepted strategy for the judicious use. Now how they will plan for it? First point, second point, and then we have 3 points, students. So the first point says that basically we need to inventory and Identification of resources. Identification of resources. Now what happens, students? The resources were used so much that it become that India became, or world started becoming deficient in the resources which are not renewable. So the world leaders gathered and decided that what is the popular solution to this? Only planning is the popular solution to this. How to do that? First, to do one thing, inventory and identification. Up till you don't know how many of the resources do you have, can you solve the problem? No. So the first thing is inventory and identification of resources. Done with this, you made a list that okay, this resources are present in India and here they are available. So now next thing what you will do is planning. You will be making a planning structure. You will be making a planning structure with the help of two things. One is technology, which is available in your country, and the institutional setup that you can make. Institutional setup that you can make. So if you are done with planning, now what you will do? The third and the most important step is you will match the resource planning structure. Bacha, you will match the resource planning structure with what? With national planning structure. With nation's planning structure. To explain this answer, I have a very good example. Consider you are a student of class 10th. Now you will say, ma'am, how can we consider? Right? Rajesh, CBSE ka hai beta. It's of CBSE, okay? So you are in class 10th and your new books came. Now you're very excited and you have noticed that this book is there, math, science, social studies, English, I need to study this, IT, etc. Then you will see how many chapters are there in each subject. What are you doing? You are identifying your resources. Once done, then you will make a planning structure. Okay, in 3 months I'll complete my maths. Along with this book, I'll solve this exemplar or etc. Okay, you made a planning, but what if you don't know that your exam is in after 10 months there is your exam? You don't know that. Now how will you make a structure? You will match that 10 months with your monthly or weekly planning so that you're not able to keep overburdened. Okay, this is how you will do this. So this is it. Okay, no Sanskar, it's not full geo. We have mixed questions from history. We are done with history, geography, then civics, then economics. Okay. Hi Sanskar, you're new here, I get it. So basically it's top 20 most repeated question series by Tanvi Ma'am on the platform Deeksha Vedantu. We are done with the answer that planning is a widely accepted strategy for judicious use of resources. Moving to the next one, and here we can see that this question is repeated so many times. See students, and do tell me, are you able to solve it? Are you able to understand it or not in the comment section? Explain the working of underground tanks as a part of rooftop harvesting system that's practiced in Rajasthan, asked in the year 15, 14, 12 or 10. Okay, and this question can also be asked in a format that how were the underground tanks benefited to the people of Rajasthan? Explain. 12, 16, 17 we can see. Discuss how rainwater harvesting in semi-arid region of Rajasthan is carried out. See how multiple times this question was asked, as this is the favorite question of CBSE, seems like that. So see students, basically this question is from the chapter water resources. Okay, this is from the chapter water resources. And for sure, this water resources weightage is such that one marker question will come from this chapter. Okay, and from this 1 marker, this 5 marker question, rainwater harvesting. Okay, rainwater harvesting is their important topic. Now, in this semi-arid region, okay, in the semi-arid regions of Rajasthan. Where? Rajasthan. Which regions? Like Jaisalmer, okay, Jaisalmer, we can see that Bikaner, okay, Falodi. These are the region which faces acute water problems. To solve that problems, they have a very traditional tank system, okay, tank system, and this tank system is also known as Tanka system, popularized in this region. Tanka system very much popularized in this region. Now how you will answer that? What happens now, like this is their home. So this is a home of a person in Rajasthan. What he will do, he will dig a big room. Okay, he'll dig a big room just below the ground floor. He will dig a big room, and whenever the rain comes, okay, whenever the rain comes, in the rooftop, this rainwater will be collected. This rainwater will be collected, which will travel with the help of a pipe. And this pipe will be connected to this tank. And many levels of filters are attached with them so that the water is clean and fit for consumption here. Pay attention, the first spell of rain is usually not corrected, because we know that first spell of rain is associated with acid rain and many concepts we studied in science. Okay, so this is about rainwater harvesting system in Tanka system. You need to answer this in 5 points. All that thing that the roofing slope collected waters in the form of pipe and etc. Write all of these in the form of points. 5 points, 5 marks guaranteed after this session. Okay, get it? Give me a thumbs up. Now moving to the next one, 5-mark question. Describe the institutional and technical changes introduced in the field of agriculture in India in the recent year. This was the question asked in last year question paper also, and it has been asked many times. We can't even imagine. So it's asked in 2012, 11, 10, 14, 15, 25. Do you want to miss this question? Not at all. Okay, don't give even a chance to miss this question. And we have the answer. So they are talking about what? 2 types of changes. Okay, one change is basically institutional. Okay, institutional, and the other change is basically technical change. Okay, to the students who are here, guess from which chapter this question is, because I want to see that are you guys active in the month of December or still thinking that we will study SST on the last day of our exam, because you consider SST as such a subject. So coming back to the question, yes, there are certain institutional reforms and technical reforms introduced by the government. So what happened? Agriculture was one of the dominant sector in Indian economy. After independence, we were so depressed, saying that British has looted us so much and it is the backbone of Indian economy. How to make it strong? Let us bring some changes. Government decided to bring some changes. In the institutional reform, certain changes were done, like consolidation of land, okay, or abolition of zamindari system. Basically what happened is zamindars were considered the owner of land by Britishers. So they have taken the original lands which belong to the farmers. So abolition of zamindari pratha, zamindari system, that zamindars will collect the revenue from the farmers. This was ended because it was really an inhuman practice done. Okay, so this is it. The second one is in the first 5-year plan. In the first 5-year plan, bacha, in the first 5-year plan, what they have done? They have done one more thing, that is reforms. And these reforms were known as land reforms, to bring changes in the system of land practices in India. Okay, but other than that, they have various technical reforms also, and the technical reforms are such that in the year 1970s, Green Revolution was introduced. And the Green Revolution was introduced with a target to increase the production of wheat and rice in India. We know that. We have one more thing, that's Green Revolution, other than Green Revolution, Operation Flood, also known as Wide white revolution, so that packed technology, packed products are more promoted in the Indian economy. Okay, other than this, we have crop insurance. Crop insurance in the case that there are droughts, okay, or there are floods or any natural disasters, the farmers are affected by it, the crop get failed. In that time, insurance was provided by the government. Or other than that, we have schemes like KCC, Kisan Credit Card Scheme, very interesting, very helpful for the farmers, and scheme that is PYQs. What is PYQs? Personal accident insurance scheme. In case that some of the farmer get accidentally hurt during the farming practice, then insurance will be provided by the government. Okay, 5 mark a question, 5 points in front of you, just mark them, right? Revise it again and again, it will help you in your exam. Next one, 5 difference between conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. Bacha, this is one of the most important question from your geography book. We will write all the 5 points. Pause the video, either write it somewhere, okay, write again and again, revise again and again, paste it in front of your study table, and do not forget to read this question once every day. And the question says, what is the difference between conventional and non-conventional? So we know that whenever the question such that comes in difference, we have to write it in points, making a line between them. Okay, so what are conventional resources? So we will tell the nature of them. Basically, these are non-renewable in nature. Non-renewable in nature. Mostly these are fossil fuels. Okay, fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, diesel, etc. Or when we talk about non-conventional resources, the nature of them they are renewable resource, like they are either sun energy, wind energy, tidal energy, and many more. Got my point? Okay, moving to the second difference, but we know that these are limited in nature, okay, and finite in their presence. But here they are unlimited in nature. We won't call that they will never end or infinite, but they get renewed naturally. Okay, they get renewed naturally, like sun energy. Are you doing any effort to protect sun energy? Not at all. So limited and finite, unlimited in nature, we know this one. Moving to the third one, but these are those resources which creates, okay, which creates or release carbon emission, okay, and are responsible for increasing pollution. Okay, however, when we talk about this non-conventional resources, they do not create pollution and are not responsible for carbon emission, right? If we talk about technological accessibility of both of these, right? If we talk about what difference between technological accessibility, then we know that yes, these are well established and are used regularly since a longer time. Like what we can call it, these are basically type of resources you are using them from older times. However, they are something new in nature and the technology is still evolving. It is not developed as such. Got it? And last but not the least, very important point, that what it is, cost, which is most expensive, because what you will choose, the one that is least expensive, right? We do sometimes, we don't see the accessibility of the product in the future, like we regularly use Chinese products and many more. So fifth point is that when we talk about conventional resource, we know that they are quietly cheap, okay, but they are not like healthy for our environment. These products are expensive in the initial run, like for setup and all, but afterwards it will go on a track that it have a affordable charges. So these are difference between the, ma'am, can you upload these questions as PDF? Okay, Sonu, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, we will upload this in the form of PDF. You can join our WhatsApp channel and the link is given in description. When you will join that, all the lecture PDFs, notes and EPPs you will get from there. Okay, बिल्कुल, we have heard the name of Digrat sir. We know that he is great, but unfortunately I'm also a teacher teaching you SST, guys. Okay, so this PDF will be uploaded on the WhatsApp channel. Link is given in description. Join that and enjoy all the free DPPs and whatever is provided in that channel. Warm up question to all the students, because I am finding you all inactive today. So question is that read it very nicely, give me the answer, because I want the answer from your side. Kenya, that is a nation in East Africa, has a majority of ethnic group. To all the students who are sleeping, get up, read it again. Kenya, a nation in East Africa, has a majority of ethnic groups called Kikuyu. Okay, ethnic groups known as Kikuyu. During the early years of independence, the Kikuyu, despite being around 22% of the population, held a disproportionate share of political power and economic resources. This led to resentment among other ethnic groups who felt excluded and marginalized. They felt what, bacha? Excluded and marginalized. This is answer to this is what is happening in the country. Is accommodation happening, secularism, majoritarianism, or democracy? Okay, waiting for your answers in the live chat. Once you give the answer, I'll discuss about it, because I want you to brainstorm. We are very close to your examinations and we can't sleep at 1 p.m. Okay, next question in front of you. Okay, Sonu Arora, I get your answer as C, and C speaks about majoritarianism. Very good. Can you tell me the example of majoritarianism that is given in NCERT book, the case we studied? Name the country we studied over there. Very good, bacha. Okay, so the question says that describe the elements of Belgian model for accommodating diversities. Okay, the question is what? Describe the elements of Belgian model. Now pay attention, this question is from the chapter, bacha, that is power sharing. Most repeated question. It can also be asked that write in detail about accommodation done in Belgium. Accommodation that's done in Belgium. How it is done in Belgium? See, oh, Sri Lanka. Very good. Perfectly going. So, in Belgium, what happened? The civil tensions were rising. How you will write this answer if it comes in 5 points? Pay attention. So, in Belgium, what was going on? Civil tensions was going on, and they have analyzed that there are certain regional and geographical diversities. To solve that problem, Belgium government amended the constitution. Amended the constitution. How many times? Give me the live chat option. Okay, how many times? So they have amended the constitution. After amending the constitution, what they have done? First point, pay attention, first point. In the central government, there will be equal number of ministers. Okay, there will be equal number of ministers from both the communities, Dutch and French. First point. Second point, now this central government will share the powers with state government, so that state government is no longer subordinate to the central government. Okay, now we have a separate government in Belgium. Separate government in Belgium. Here also there will be equal representation. Whose representation, bacha? Of both the communities, that is Dutch and the other one is French. And then they have very special type of government, that is community government for all the communities like Dutch, French and Germans. What this community government is doing? Okay, so many government, why did you make that? This community government will make the rules, the laws and the procedures for what? For their culture, their language, their tradition, and none of them will interfere in each other's custom and tradition. Got it? Give me a thumbs up if you get this point. Okay, Well, you guys are doing great. Moving towards the next question of the day. 12th one in the series, we are close to complete 20 most repeated questions from SST. Describe the rationale behind implementation of decentralization in India. Guess this question is from which chapter? Fast, give me the live chat option. Explain the basic idea behind decentralization of political powers in India. So, do you guys know about the concept of decentralization? First of all, the question is, what is decentralization? So, you will introduce your answer with the definition of decentralization, that ma'am, whenever the powers are, when powers are shared, or what we can say, not share, are taken from which government? Center and state government, are then given to local government, given to local government, and this structure is known as what? Decentralization. And in the starting, when Indian Constitution was made, we have how many levels of government? Just 2 levels of government. See the 5 points I'm going to frame here. Okay, so the first point is that you will tell that now it has become constitutional status that we have 3 tiers of government in India, and the 3rd tier of government was after center government, state government, then we have local government. It was become so mandatory according to the constitution that the elections for them will be held regularly. Elections will be held regularly in every 5 years. Okay. Have you watched that series, Panchayat series? Panchayat series is a very good example to basically visionize all the system of local government in India. So yes, yeah, okay, it will happen regularly for every 5 years. To conduct this election, a separate state election commission will be made. Okay, state election commission will be made, which is held responsible for the elections of panchayats and municipalities. Pay attention, only for the elections of panchayats and municipalities. Get it? Very good. 4th one that we have is the sources of revenue is listed in the constitution. Very important. पैसा नहीं होगा तो फिर कैसे खर्चा करेंगे? पैसा is very important. And the last but not the least, that 1/3 seats. Okay, 1/3 seats in the elections to panchayat and municipalities will be reserved for women, and this is the answer to the question that what is decentralization that happened in the year 1992. Did you get the answer? Will you able to write this 5-mark answer and get total 5 marks from this question? Okay, now next one, that's 13, communal politics. Okay, this is from chapter gender, religion and caste. This is from the chapter gender, religion and caste. Communal politics is based on the idea that religion is principal basis of social community. So we know that, yes, that's very true. Let's talk about it. Let's frame the answer, bacha. Okay, so the answer says that, pay attention, communalism. What does the word communalism means? So communalism comes from the word community, and this community is the one which follows a particular religion. So basically the principal basis of communalism is religion. By my community is good, yours is not, considering their community as superior and the other one as inferior. Now the follower of, pay attention, I'm telling you the most important point of this answer which student face problem in framing that. Okay, so the first point is that the follower of one religion, right, must belong to the ideology of one community. If you follow one religion, that means you belong to this community. Because why? Because your ideology is same, you believe same, you think same. Got it? Okay, got it or not? Just tell me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, now next one is that whenever there are people of same religion, their fundamental interest will be same, right? It may happen that sometimes from a community the people have different ideology, like sometimes it happens we have different views and the other one has different views, but any difference to your ideology will be considered as irrelevant. And it may happen that you belong to different community, you follow different religion, but you have same ideology. But whenever you are from different religion or you are from different community, but unfortunately you have same ideology, will it be considered? No, it will be considered superficial. It doesn't exist in the real world. It means that. Okay, so it is something like this. This is the correct framework to the question that is in front of you. Okay, got this, bachas? Next one. Why has India adopted a multi-party system? So we have three-party system. Okay, we have how many party system? 3. Name them in the live chat option. We have three-party system. And India has opted for multi-party system. Very, very easy answer. 2 marker, and this 2 points can help you gain this. Okay, 2 points more than enough. Yes, India is a country that has opted for multi-party system. Why? Because of the different ethnicity, and because of the geographical differences, because of different ethnicity and because of geographical differences. Okay, and multi-party system is a concept in which 2 or more than 2 levels of government have a fair chance of winning the elections. Hope you guys have also learned SST like the way I'm speaking right now. Every word of mine is taken from NCERT. And do you know, if you are going to write your answers from NCERT, your keywords from NCERT, no one is gonna take or snatch your marks. Okay, so students, if you face any problem in learning NCERT, reading it, revising it, then you can ask it right now. Question number 15, 5 major functions of political parties. By this is going to come definitely, because from the chapter political party, for sure a guaranteed 5 mark. For sure a guaranteed 5 mark question can come. Okay, it can be functions of political parties, it can be challenges to political parties, or it can be reforms to political parties. The most repeated in the 3 of them is which one? The most repeated is functions. See the year how many times it has been repeated. So let us talk about the 5 functions of political parties. What is a political party? So first function is that it basically fights for election. The first thing that the political party actually do is that it contests elections. Okay, it contests elections. To contest in elections, it frame what? It frame its policies, okay, or its programs. Fine. Once they get victory in the elections, what they do? They make government. They make government. After making government, they makes the law. This is their work, which they forget to do sometimes. Okay, so it makes the law. And what happened? The party who doesn't wins the election plays the role of opposition. But what all these parties are doing? 6th point, they are shaping what? Public opinion. They are shaping public opinion. Got it or not? 6 points. You can write any 5 of them. Pay attention, your teacher has just written the keywords. You need to answer them thoroughly in detail. Okay, we are ended with the 15th question of the day, warm-up question. You need to answer in the live chat option right now. Which state in India has highest human development index? Just a question. I'll notice that how much IQ you have when you answer this question. Easy one. Okay, very, very easy one. Is it Kerala, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu or Uttar Pradesh? And by this question, you might understood that we are moving towards one more level up and we are moving towards economics. We are moving towards economic. From first chapter of economics, what is the first chapter of economics? Development is the first chapter from economics. And from that one, favorite question for 2 marks. For how many marks? 2 marks is that what may be development for one may not be development for another. Okay. Or this question can come, what may be development for one may be the destruction for another. Or we have one more type. Development is constructive for one but destructive for another person. Now the question says that explain the statement with the help of appropriate example. Do you guys remember which example they are asking to you? Right? I guess you guys are not getting anything in your mind because you are not recalling anything because I am not getting my answers in live chat options. So shall I consider that you are not ready to give your board exams? That is very close to, right? Very, very close. Are you not anxious of your preparation or what? So yes, example, you should give the example of industrialist and the worker working, okay, industrialist and the person living there, the local person, localite, and the local person living there. This example is in your NCERT book. You will frame your answers by yourself for this question. Next one. Next is, what is the importance of tertiary sector in Indian economy? By most repeated question, right? Favorite question of CBSE, I don't know why. So this is from the chapter Sectors of Indian Economy. See how we have covered the most important chapters, most important topics, most important question from every chapter of your SST book, and this can definitely prove to be a best revision for your preparation. So basically question is, what is the importance of tertiary sector rising in Indian economy? 5 mark question, 5 points. Why tertiary sector is very important? Because it provides you basic services. It provides you beta basic service. Like if you want to go to hospital, you will see a doctor. What is the who is doctor? Service, he is providing service, he or she is providing to you what? Service, again a sector. Teacher, service sector. Bank, service sector. All those are basic facilities nowadays. Okay, other than that, we know that whenever there will be growth in primary and secondary sector, and both of them are growing, definitely it will leads to the growth of tertiary sector. Okay. Third point can be income of people is rising. So what? Income is rising, then how tertiary sector is joined? So if people will earn more, they will spend more. Okay, if you will earn more, you want to go to a best restaurant of your town, you will see that, okay, then I'll go for tour. Okay, so tourism, restaurant are what? Services. Okay, so when income rises, your level of spending rises, mostly in tertiary sector. 4th point bacha, introduction of technology. Introduction of technology, internet and all of them. So frame this answer, 5 points, write in detail. By to be sure question coming in your pre-boards or your board, take my words here. Okay. Now 18th question of the day, why is cheap and affordable credit important for country's development? By sasta credit kisko nahi chahiye? Everyone wanted cheap and affordable credit in the nation, right? You go to bank and get cheap and affordable credit. Will you go to the money lender who is levying on you high interest rate? Why will you go that? So basically It will help in countries' development. 3 reasons. How many 3 reasons? 3 reasons. A 3-marker question. Pay attention. So if you get what? Cheap and affordable credit, it will help in countries' development. So it will boost economy. How? Because the loans will be provided to farmers. So farmers will grow more crops, economy will grow. It will provide loans to industrialistic sector. From this, what can be done? Small scale industries can be promoted. Small scale industries can be easily promoted, students. And then we have promotion of e-ship, entrepreneurship. One more thing, I am adding one extra point for your benefit, that in this case it will help you to end the debt trap. It will help you to end the debt trap that you were facing because of that high revenue. Okay. Hi Mohammed Rizwan, welcome on the platform of Deeksha Vedantu. We are here with the most repeated questions. However, we are on the 18th question, and the total questions we discussed for today is 20. Okay, I'll ask you to watch the session from the starting, because this is really very helpful for class 10 students. 19th question from the chapter that covers a very small part in your exam, that's globalization in the Indian economy. Okay, do you guys remember that chapter actually exists? Okay, so this chapter has a very small portion. What is globalization? What are the factors that enable globalization? Very small. But what happened now, we sometimes miss it. Why? We think that this chapter is not important. No, but these 2 questions from the chapters are very, very, very important. Okay. Hello Ringo, hello, welcome to the session. I am giving you a task for today. And the task is that if you have not read this chapter up till now, go for it today. What is globalization? So basically, globalization is the interconnection of different countries in the globe. 2 or more than 2 countries when interconnect with each other. How they will interconnect? By sharing of goods, capitals, people, etc. Okay. So yes, Muhammad, my name is Tanvi and I am SST faculty at this platform, Deeksha Vedantu. What are the factors that enable globalization? By there are 3 points given: technology, information and technology, liberalization. Frame your answer by today, just 2 pages to read from NCERT, and if you have not done yet, then there is a problem. So I am leaving this one for you. Last question. We have completed 20 questions in today's session, and that were the most important one. So question is, there is a need for the protection and support for the workers in unorganized sector. Evaluate the statement. So see, the question is not straight. It is a jalebi question, round and round, asking you something straight from your NCERT, that how can we How can we protect the people in unorganized sector? First thing, we can make regulations. Okay, we can make rules so that everyone should follow that rule and nobody will able to exploit the workers. Let's have fixed working hours for them. Okay, fixed working hours for them. Now we know that in unorganized sector, people are working for like 10 hours, 12 hours, which is exactly exploitation. Okay, then we can have a fixed salary for them. Basically, we know that government has also passed one law that is known as Minimum Wage Act. Minimum Wage Act, that at least this much payment should be given to them. Okay, work on their working conditions. Work on their working conditions, like whenever they are working for extra time, extra payment should be given to them. And this is all about today's question. 20 most repeated questions successfully done from my side. I want you to practice all these 20 questions by today. For this PDF of most important 20 questions, you just need to join our WhatsApp channel. The link is given in the description. Go right now and join that channel. Okay, other than that, I know guys, you guys have not yet subscribed this YouTube channel, which is going to be helpful for you class 10 students, because this is made exclusively for class 10th, that too English medium, in which all the subjects math, science, social science are dealt in detail by well-renowned faculties after having 27 years of legacy in success. So I am just going, but we will be right back at 5 o'clock with a very good lecture of physics. So hope you guys will be there. Meet you soon with another such lecture. Thank you for joining Deeksha Vedantu.